Welcome back, Subtle Shifts community. This week, I'm going to dive into the second of my three-part series on how to feel better in midlife, how to find more joy, more fulfillment, have more energy, all of the things that tend to lag sometimes when you hit midlife. The past few weeks, I have talked with you about some mindset tools, and the next couple of weeks, I'm going to dive into the body part of midlife. It's all about balancing mind, body, and spirit. And so let's dive into the body part of it. First thing I want to say is that I know firsthand how everything can shift in midlife when it comes to your body size, shape, energy, and so that your body doesn't really feel like your own. I've been there, and I'm actually talking about that a lot on this week's podcast. It comes out on Wednesday, so stay tuned. But this week, I wanted to come in with a very quick tip to help set you on a path to subtly start shifting your body in midlife so you feel better about it. Before I even start talking about today's topic, I want to address the fact that your body shape and size does not define your worth as an individual. So when I share these tools with you, it's not with an air of you need to fix yourself. It's very much with an air of here are some tools to help you feel good about yourself. And if you right now don't feel good about your body, it's okay to address it and start making some intentional changes to feel better. And this is one way to do it. I'm going to share with you how to pay attention to what you're eating so that the weight stops creeping up and slowly starts whittling down, if that's your goal. And I'm also going to share with you what to eat and how to eat it so that you have more energy to do the things you want to do in midlife. So first off, let's talk about if you've seen the number on the scale creeping up and you want to turn things around. Sometimes it can feel in midlife like you are powerless to do anything about that. I've done multiple things in my midlife experience trying to keep the scale from continuing to go up, and this is the only thing that worked for me. Are you ready for this? A calorie deficit. And what do I mean when I say a calorie deficit? So when you think about the science of it, your body needs a certain number of calories to function optimally. And sometimes, myself included, the number of calories that you consume, you're not even aware of throughout the day. You don't even pay attention to it. Maybe you've been eating the same, and maybe a couple bites here and there kind of adds up, and then you don't even realize that you're eating more than you used to. And so, of course, the scale is going to reflect that. So what does it mean to be in a calorie deficit? Here's a very simple calculation to help you figure out how many calories you would need in order to be in a deficit. What you do is you take your goal weight and then you multiply that by 12. That's the number of calories that you would need in a calorie deficit. So for example, if your goal weight is 150, I'm just using that because it's easy to calculate, your calorie goal would be 1,800 calories per day. And there's a lot of things when it comes to goal weight, what does that even mean? There's no right or wrong answer here. It's just pick a number and know that, hey, if I never hit that, it's okay, but it'll get me going in that direction. Okay, so you may end up being not even close to that number and feel great and stop doing the deficit. Fantastic. But you pick a number and then that is your calorie goal to be in a calorie deficit. And then what you do is you pay attention to what you're eating. You start tracking and calculating what the calorie amount is for the food that you eat. I know I myself have been guilty of thinking things are a certain number of calories and just eating it without actually looking it up. So using a calorie tracker like MyFitnessPal is a really great strategy just to take out a lot of that guesswork. That's the number of calories. You stick with that. Eventually, the scale will reflect the change. You also need to be patient with it. And I'm going to talk about that more again in this week's podcast episode. Don't expect the scale to reflect it the next day. It won't. The weight might hold on for a little bit. Don't make it mean anything has gone wrong. And what I did is when I wasn't 1 month in, 30 days in, and the scale still hadn't moved, I just adjusted the number slightly, down 100 calories, kept with it, and it started working. So be patient with it, stick with it, and be consistent. Now to talk about the amount of energy Not all calories are the same. Yes, the total number of calories can be the same, but how they make you feel can be totally different. So instead of focusing on all of the nutrients at once, the number one thing you can focus on is getting the right amount of protein. So many of us underestimate how much protein we get in a day. Just start paying attention. The idea here too is to take your goal weight, and that's the number of calorie or protein grams of protein to aim for in the day. For 150, that would be 150 grams of protein. You may hear that and think, that's not possible. That's okay. Don't aim for 150 then. Aim for 125. Aim for 100. If you track and you realize you're only eating 30 grams of protein a day, up it. You don't have to do it all the way. Just play a game with it. How can I get more protein into my calories every day? And the way I do it, I just keep it simple. I eat the same thing for breakfast every day. I know how many calories are in it. I know how many grams of protein are in it. And I know that it's going to help me meet my goals. So that takes the guesswork out completely. So just start with that. Find a meal where you know that you can be consistent in getting the calories and the protein amount that you're wanting. Stick with it, and then let that lead your day. Breakfast is a really good one for that. So start with the calorie deficit, up your protein, and those are two ways to help you feel a little more in control of your weight gain and your body size and shape in midlife when things really feel like they can be out of control. So if you're feeling called to really start taking action on feeling more balanced in your body, in your mind, and in your spirit, I am here to help you. I know so many times once we hit midlife, it feels like the best days are behind us, and that can feel really heavy, but you don't have to do this alone. What I'm going to do with you when we work together is we're going to figure out where you are, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it is you need to shift to start feeling more joyful and more fulfilled in your life every day. And aside from that, we'll set goals that feel doable and achievable. So I'll be your accountability partner. I'll also be your cheerleader through it all. And then we will take slow and intentional steps in the direction you want to go, to the point where eventually you're going to turn around and think, wow, I've been making these little shifts over time, and now here I am, and things have shifted in a great way, in a vast way that feels really good to me, and it didn't feel hard. In fact, it might actually feel pretty fun. So if you're ready to feel a little bit more in charge in this period of your life, start enjoying the everyday, feel stronger in your body, your mind, and your spirit, send me a direct message. Get the conversation started. Just message me one word. The word can be midlife. And we will get started with a conversation, and I'll let you know what your next step will be to start feeling better in your life. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time.